Hey there, everybody. We're finally in the month of May. One game behind where I really wanted to be at this point. I really wanted to be done with the first round completely before May got here, but things came up and couldn't get to it. So now we're back at it. And the final game in round one right here. Baltimore number 6 seed 1970 Orioles against the 27th seed 72 A's. The winner will play the 1988 A's, so it could be an A's versus A's matchup. You never know. The last game, if you haven't seen it, you probably need to go back and watch it, was an amazing comeback by the Cardinals to beat the White Sox. The 04 Cardinals defeated the 05 White Sox. Their prize for winning is to get to play the New York Yankees of 1978. However, Ron Guidry already pitched in the first round against the Dodgers, so they will not have to face Guidry. It'll probably be Ed Figueroa or either Catfish Hunter, one of the two. And the Cardinals will have to figure out Jason Marquis or whoever's going to start there. But once we get this game done, then we'll be ready to start the Sweet 16. And that way we can get things going and make sure we're all finished. My hope is to finish on Memorial. I would like to play the finals on that Monday, Memorial Day would be my hope. So that's what we're going to do, or plan to do anyway. Of course, I've got other things going on too. I'm playing inside pitch. I'm playing triple play baseball that ID Gesture kind of got me on to. Also playing History Maker baseball, playing some APA, trying to get back into APA, particularly learning all the, not necessarily the master game, but the Merino boards and how to do steals and advancing on fly balls and things like that. So I'm definitely looking at that also. Once in a while I'll throw a History Maker in there. So try to keep a variety going. Still got the 77 White Sox replay I want to get back to as well once this is done. But let's move on now to Oakland and Baltimore. And this is the final game for the first round. So that means that the final game we're going to use this board for advanced fielding. I'm going to super advanced fielding starting in the Sweet 16. So let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. Baltimore, the higher seed. They're the designated home team. So we'll start with the Oakland A's starting lineup. Leading off will be shortstop Bert Campaneris. Matty Alou is in right field, and he will bat second. Joe Rudy's in left. He will hit third. Batting cleanup in center field is Reggie Jackson. Of course, he was injured for the 72 World Series, but in this tournament, he's alive and healthy and ready to go. Sal Bando bats fifth and plays third base. Mike Epstein's the DH. He was normally the first baseman, but he's going to DH because he's got a 4 fielding there. So he's going to DH and hit sixth. Gene Tennis, the catcher, will bat seventh. Batting eighth is the first baseman Mike Hegan, who was often a defensive replacement for the aforementioned Mike Epstein at first base because he's a 2. But he's going to be in there anyway because he hit 329 in 1972, so good stuff there. And then Dick Green, kind of their second baseman that Charlie Finley really didn't care for too much, or Dick Williams, I should say, didn't care much for, but used him anyway. And Catfish Hunter is your starter. He is going to get the start in this game in 1972, 21-7, 2.04 ERA. Let's look at the bench and bullpen for the A's in case, I'm sure some of them will be needed at some point. Let's look at their bench players first, in case they'll need to pinch hit, pinch run, defensive replacement. George Hendrick, who played center in the World Series mostly when Reggie was out. Angel Manguel. Dave Duncan, the backup catcher. Ted Kubiak, a utility infielder. Tim Cullen, another utility infielder. And pinch hitting specialist Gonzalo Marquez. He hit 381 in 21 at-bats, so they got him late in the season, and he was their pinch hitter extraordinaire in the World Series. All right, bullpen. We're only using a 3-man staff, so Vida Blue is the odd man out. He does have a relief rating, so he will be long reliever. Their other starters, in case they continue in the tournament, will be Ken Holtzman and Blue Moon Odom. So you can only have a 3-man rotation, so Vida Blue gets pushed to the long relief in the bullpen. Darryl Knowles is the other lefty in the bullpen. Right-handers Bob Locker. Joe Horland, who is also a starter and a reliever, he had 6 starts and 1 save. And then, of course, their closer, Raleigh Fingers. Look at his relief ratings of 4. He can go a lot of innings. A lot of innings. He pitched 111 innings in 1972. So he's definitely a long man. And there are your Oakland A's. Now let's look at the Baltimore Orioles and who they're going to have as their starting lineup. Leading off and playing DH is Don Buford. He's normally the left fielder, but with the DH in this tournament. We're going to put him in as DH in the leadoff spot. Paul Blair's in center. He will hit second. Batting third is Frank Robinson in right field. Batting cleanup is Boog Powell at first. Hitting fifth is Brooks Robinson at third. Batting in the sixth position is the left fielder, Merv Retman. Davey Johnson will bat seventh and play second. Rod Hendricks will bat eighth and catch. And then the Blade, Mark Belanger, the shortstop, will hit ninth. And Jim Palmer on the mound for these 1970 Orioles. And he was 20-10 with a 2.71 ERA. So there you go for the Orioles. Now let's look at their bench and bullpen, in case they get to that. Terry Crowley, designated pinch hitter mostly in the year. He will be on the bench along with utility man Chico Simone. Bobby Grich, a young utility infielder, will be on the team also. And they have two backup catchers, Andy Etchebarren, and then they're also carrying Clay Dalrymple in case we want to pinch hit for both of their other catchers. That way you have somebody to put in defensively in an emergency. All right, pitching. There are two starters that aren't showing up are McNally and Cuellar, so they're not going to be shown here. Tom Phoebus is the odd man out. He's going to be in the bullpen in long relief. Same with Marcelino Lopez, a lefty, and Pete Rickard, a lefty. Mo Drabowski is another right-hander. Dick Hall, a setup man, and their closer is Eddie Watt. And in 1970, Eddie Watt had 12 saves. So there are the rosters for both teams, so you know who I have available to use. And if you're wondering why I'm not using somebody, it's because they're not available. All right, so let's get everything set up here for this final game in round one. As long as I don't tip over anything on me. Let's move everything back so you can see the score sheet and everything else that's going on. We'll try to roll it right here on the score sheet. Okay, so Jim Palmer finishing up his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Bert Campaneris. Campy Campaneris will be up. And I got the dice out, the Baltimore Oriole colored dice for the Orioles, and then the D20 is the Oakland colors green. So a little bit different, just to mix things up and try to not be so bland. All right, here is Bert Campaneris to lead it off here against Jim Palmer. Last game in round one is underway, 3-7. 3-7 to fly to center, handled by Paul Blair, and that's one away. So Palmer gets the speedy Campaneris, keeps him off the bases. Here's Matty Alou, 3-9 for Alou. He's going to ground it to second, and that's Davey Johnson territory. 2 up, 2 down. I think the 70 Orioles were definitely an underrated team. Everybody focuses mainly on the 69 team and the 71 team because of the 420 game winners, but I think 70 might have been the better team of all three of them. Here's Rudy. It's up for debate, of course. 2-7 for Rudy. Struck him out. So Jim Palmer, no problem there with the Oakland A's here in the first. I got a feeling with Palmer and Hunter on the mound, this could be a 2-1, 3-2 type game. Not looking for a whole lot of offense. All right, here's Catfish Hunter. He's got his warm-up tosses completed, and Don Buford, the DH, will be leading things off for Earl Weaver. 2-6. 2-6 is a pop out to first. Handled by Hegan. That's one away. Here's Paul Blair. Speedy Paul Blair. 2-7 for Blair. And that's going to be a 1-4 single. Anything else, he will line it to Sal Bando. That's an 8, so that's going to line it to Sal Bando. Bando makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down for Frank Robinson. 3-3 for Robinson, and that is, he just missed a home run. I'm sorry, I was looking at 2-3. 3-3 is a hit by pitch. We're not doing injuries, but we will do the hit by pitch. So Frank Robinson, notorious for being hit by pitches because he stands so close to the plate. So he will be on. He runs as an E Steeler, so he will not be held. And here's the Boog man, Boog Powell, famous for his barbecue. 4-8 off a Hunter, and that's a ground ball to Hegan, and that's going to do it. Step on the bag and then take care of things. And down go the Orioles in the first. After one complete, we've got nothing going on the scoreboard, 0-0. Zip, zip. And that's going to bring up Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Let's see if he's Mr. May. Reggie Jackson. 2-9 for Jackson, struck him out. Of course, he's involved with the 78 Yankees as well, so he's on a couple of teams in this tournament, as are some of the other players as well. Palmer and some of the Orioles are on 79 and 70. Sal Bando. 4-5 off of Palmer is a fly to left. Handled out there by Mr. Retman, who's also on the 75 Reds. So a lot of crossover. Epstein, the DH 5-9, struck him out. Palmer gets the whiff on Epstein. And nothing doing for the A's. Go to the bottom of the second. The winner will play the Bash Brothers, the 1988 A's, who dispatched the 76 Phillies pretty handily, thanks to Jose Canseco's 3 home runs. 6-10 off of Hunter. That's a fly ball center field X. That's Reggie Jackson. So Reggie moved over to right field later in his career, but right now he's playing center. He's a 3-E11, but 3 is the main number in the advanced. 3 and a 17 is a good play. So Reggie Jackson is able to get to that. And Brooks Robinson, the MVP of the 70 series, is out of there. Here's Merv Retman, left fielder. 4-11 off of Hunter. That's ground ball to first. 2 down. I thought about DH and Crowley and having Buford play left and Retman on the bench, but Retman had such a good year. He hit 322 in 1977 with 18 home runs, so I really didn't want to bench him. So we'll save Crowley maybe for an important at-bat. Here's Davey Johnson, 4-10. Ground ball to short. That's going to be Campaneris. We'll see what he is. He is an E2. So let's see if Campy can get to it. 2 and an 8, and he cannot. So we're going to the error check, and he's an E19. E19 and a 5, and that's a 1-base error on Campy. So Campaneris falls prey to the advanced defensive chart. 2-out error. That puts Johnson on first. He's an E-stealer. He will not be held. Here is Hendricks, 5-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. So we're going to Sal Bando. And Bando checks in defensively as a 2-E20, but 2 the operative number. Ooh, 2 and a 14 at third base is going to be an error check, which means we're going right back to his error number of E20, so that could be problematic as well. 8, E20 and an 8. E20 and an 8 is another 1-base error, so back-to-back errors. I'll put an E6 there and E5 here. I kind of had them backwards. But back-to-back errors thanks to the advanced chart. So I think everybody will be happy once we get off of this. Here's Belanger, though. 4-8. 4-8 is a ground ball to short with no X check. So good thing there that they didn't need an X check, or it might have been a third error. But as it is, Catfish Hunter pitches around those 2 errors, and after 2 complete, it's no score. Jim Palmer going out, and both pitchers have a fatigue of 8, so fatigue will not be a problem for a while, unless one of them gets shelled, and I just don't see that happening. Here's Gene Tennis. Although stranger things have happened. 6-7. Ground ball second base X. That's Davey Johnson, and Davey Johnson checks in defensively as a 2 with an E10, but 2 is the main number. 2 and a 19. That's a good play all day long. So Gene Tennis is retired. 1 away for Mike Hegan, first baseman. He'll be followed by Dick Green. 5-6, and that's a damage done here on Palmer. 1-13 is a double. 14-20 is a single. That's a double for Hegan. 1-out double by Hegan. He's a D-stealer. He will not be held. And the very light-hitting Dick Green is up. Dick Green only had 42 at-bats. He had 286. 286. So pretty good, but on limited duty. He was known more for his fielding than his hitting. 3-4. 3-4 is a pop out to short. So that's 2 down. And we flip the order over to Bert Campaneris, trying to make up for that error. Drive home the first run. 4-12. He will not do it to fly to center. And again, he flies to Paul Blair. 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to center field. We go to the bottom of the third. And we're still got the goose eggs up on the board, as was expected, I believe, in this game. Here's Catfish Hunter back out. I really wanted teams, I was hoping to get teams from further that were different decades and so forth against each other. But the last 2 games, it's been teams very close together, 04 and 05, and now 70 and 72. Just the way the seeding worked out. Here's Buford. 2-7 for Buford is a leadoff walk, and leadoff walk sometimes can come back to get you. So Buford's a B stealer. He will have to be held. Paul Blair's an A bunter, but Earl Weaver really doesn't believe in the bunt, so I'm going to swing away. 3-12, and he's hit by the pitch again. So Catfish hits his second batter, and Catfish Hunter is known for his control. Excellent control. 70 walks in 295 innings, but he has walked a batter and now hit a batter, so trouble brewing here. Frank Robinson is up. Catfish needs a double play. 6-7. 1-4 is a single. 5-20, and it's snagged by the third baseman, Bando. That's 17, so Bando is going to grab it. And that keeps it from being extra bases down the line. 1 away. Here's Boog Powell. Boog Powell. 2-8 for Powell. Ground ball pitcher B. That's a fielder's choice. So that's going to go 1-6 at second base. Can't turn the double play as Powell hustled down the line. So runners are at the corners. With 2 outs, Powell will not be held. And it's up to Brooks Robinson, World Series MVP. 1-6. 1-6 is a ground ball back to Catfish again, and that's going to end the inning. So Catfish pitches around that mess. 3 innings are complete, and still it's zip to zip, as Hunter and Palmer just trying to match each other goose egg for goose egg. Here's Matty Alou to lead off the top of the 4th. Switch hitter, left-hander batting left-handed, of course. 5-5. 1-3 is a triple, and 4-20 is a single. So it's a leadoff single for Matty Alou. As the A's try to get something going, he is a D stealer. He will not be held. He will not be held. And here is Joe Rudy. Tutti Frutti O Rudy. 4-6 is a fly to center, and Blair again makes the catch. 1 away for Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, Reginald Martinez Jackson. 2-7, that's a single to center field. Now, can Alou make it to third? That would be big with only 1 out. Let's see. Alou was not being held because he's a D stealer. He is a 14, makes him a 15. Check Paul Blair's arm. 15 in Paul Blair's arm. It's a -2. It makes it a 13. So 1-13, he's going to go. He's going to try for third, because in this game you got to try to take some chances the way both pitchers are pitching. So 1-13, he goes to third, and he makes it. Barely slides in under the tag of Brooks Robinson. So aggressive base running by the A's. Whoops, I tip over everything else while I'm being aggressive. Aggressive base running by the A's puts runners on the corners with only 1 out. Reggie's a C stealer, so he will have to be held, as the Orioles now look to turn 2. But Sal Bando, a sac fly or a non-double play grounder, could put the A's in the lead. 3-7. 3-7 is a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So that extra base going to third really didn't have to do that, it turns out, because now the bases are loaded with 1 out and Palmer in trouble, facing the powerful Mike Epstein, DH lefty hitter. 5-6, 5-6, and again, right in the sweet spot of Palmer's card. 1-13 is a double, 14-20 is a single, 2 stars both ways. That's a 7. It's a double for Epstein. Runners are going to go 2 bases, so Bando will have to stop at third, but the A's lead it 2-0 on the bases loaded double by Mike Epstein. Scoring is Alou, and scoring as Jackson. And the A's now lead it 2-0. With runners at second and third and only 1 out, the infield's going to have to come in. They can't afford to go up anything else the way Catfish is pitching. So here's Gene Tennis. 5-11, and that's a fly ball right field X. That's going to be Frank Robinson. He's a 2E4. So a 2 and an E4. 2, the operative number. 2 and a 5. Let's see what a 2 and a 5 brings about. 2 and a 5 is a fly ball B, so that's a sacrifice fly. It was deep enough, and Bando scores. It's 3-0 A's on the sacrifice fly to right field. Out number 2, so Tennis, give him an RBI. A's lead it now 3-0. And here's Hegan looking for more. 4-6. Won't get it, he strikes out. But the A's strike for 3 runs here in the 4th inning. So just when I thought it was going to be a pitching duel all the way, here come the A's to score 3 runs. They lead it 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. But now the Orioles have their chance to take shots at Catfish Hunter, try to rebound. Merv Retman, 4-5, struck him out. So Catfish trying to come out and announce his presence with authority after those 3 runs are scored to lay down the law. 111. 111 is we're not doing ballpark effects because we're just doing advanced. So 1-11 is a home run for Davey Johnson. 12-20, and it'll just be a deep fly to Joe Rudy. It's 5, it's gone. So Davey Johnson says, take that, Catfish, with your authority. And it's a solo shot, cuts the lead to 3-1. So Davey Johnson strikes for the O's. Here's Elrod Hendricks, 2-6 for Elrod, pops to first. Just missed a couple of singles, but he pops it up to Hegan for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the Blade, Mark Belanger. Always known for his glove, not as batty at .218 in 1970. So definitely one of the first of the, or one of the many all-field no-hit shortstops that have come along in a while. 3-6. And he's got a chance to actually get a hit here. 1-12 will do it. 13-20 is going to line up to second. And 13, that means it's snagged by Dick Green. So Green makes the catch. Orioles strike back with 1, but at the end of 4, it's Oakland 3 and Baltimore 1. We go to the top of the 5th. Palmer, see if he can settle down. Facing number 9 hitter Dick Green. 1-5 for Green, struck him out. So Dick Green out on strikes. 1 away for Campy. He's flied to center twice. 1-6. This time he's going to ground it back to Palmer. Out number 2, so Palmer may be settling down. Just had that one hiccup, but it might be enough to cost him a game. Here's Matty Alou, 2-11. That's a solid single for Alou. So Alou singled to lead off the 4th inning and start all that mess, but now there's 2 outs, so definitely a different situation. He's a D stealer, will not be held. Joe Rudy, 5-4 for Rudy, and Rudy just missed a couple of home run chances. 5-4 is actually a fly to center. No ballpark effects, so Paul Blair makes the catch to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1 ball game in favor of Oakland. And we will have Catfish Hunter facing Don Buford, top of the order for the Orioles. Don Buford. And we get a 3-11 for Buford. 3-11 is a home run chance again, 1-15 for Buford, and it's gone. It's gone. Don Buford, another solo home run. Catfish was kind of famous for giving up solo home runs because his control was so good. He did give up 21 home runs, but many of those were solo shots, so it didn't cost him as much. But it is a 3-2 game now, so here's Paul Blair. 4-6. Ground ball to Bando, and that's 1 away. That will send up Frank Robinson. 3-3 for Robinson. He's hit by the pitch again, and Frank Robinson is not happy about this. This is the 3rd hit by pitch by Catfish Hunter. And Earl Weaver is letting the umpires know about it. They're barking out at Catfish. Dick Williams tells him to shut up and just play. But you can't really ignore the 3 hit by pitches. One more, the warnings have now been issued, so if next batter gets hit, it's an ejection automatically. Both benches have been warned. So the Orioles are unable to retaliate. 6-5 for Boog Powell. 6-5, and that's a chance for a home run. It's the best way you can retaliate if you're the Orioles is to hit a home run. 1-9 will do it. 1-9, the Orioles come back and take the lead. 10-20 is still a double. It's gone. Home run, Boog Powell. So they say, take that, Catfish. If you're going to hit us, instead of retaliating with their hitting the batters, we're going to retaliate with our bats and take a 2-run shot. And now the Orioles lead it 4-3 all of a sudden, and now Dick Williams is really fuming. Catfish is not happy. Here's Brooks. 1-4, he's going to pop it up to Campaneris for out number 2. And that's going to send us to Merv Retman. 4-7. 4-7 against Catfish is a strikeout to end the inning. But 3 runs for the Orioles, and after 5 complete, it's Baltimore 4, Oakland 3. And what was I saying earlier? I thought it'd be a pitching duel, but it wouldn't surprise me if the offenses started opening up, and that's exactly what's happening. And now Jim Palmer all of a sudden is enjoying a 4-3 lead. A's going to try to answer. Here is Reggie Jackson, Reginald Martinez Jackson. 2-10 for Jackson, and that's a fly to left. So 1 away, as that's handled by Retman. Here's Sal Bando. 6-9, and that's a strikeout. So Palmer gets Bando on strikes. Maybe Palmer's got his second wind after that rough 4th inning. Here's Mike Epstein, who had a big double his last at bat. 5-8. This time he's going to ground. Actually, he's going to fly to right. I was looking at 6-8. He's going to fly to right. Handled by Frank Robinson. It's a 1-2-3 inning, and Palmer, good way to shut the door and not let anybody come back. Just come out with a 1-2-3 inning. Here's Catfish. He's back out there. Dick Williams is not looking at the bullpen just yet. Here's Davey Johnson. 2-9 for Johnson. He's going to ground it to short, and Campaneris will make the play. Here's Elrod Hendricks. 2-5 for Hendricks. He's going to fly to right. Again, if we were doing ballpark effects, there would be a diamond shot there, but we're not. Here's Belanger. 4-5, struck him out. So Catfish comes back with a solid 6th. We go to the 7th, 4-3 ball game. Anybody's game at this point. Palmer will now be out to face Gene Tennis. With Tennis, Hegan, and Green. 3-7 for Tennis. He's going to fly to center. 1 away. Brings up Mike Hegan. 4-4 for Hegan. It's a catcher X. That is going to be Elrod Hendricks. And Hendricks checks in with a 4 E5. 4 being the operative number. 4 and a 17 for a catcher. Pass ball and a foul out, but nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a foul out for out number 2. And that's number 9 here, Dick Green. We would pinch hit for Green, but with 2 outs and the bases empty, you may as well let him hit. Save your pinch hitters for a more intense situation with runners on base. 6-6, and Green's going to get a hit anyway. 1-5 is a double. 6-20 is a single. So Dick Green, a 2-out single. And he's an E-stealer. He will not be held. They could pinch run for him, perhaps, and see about trying to steal a base and get in scoring position. That's a possibility. Who do they have that can steal? Hendricks is a C-stealer. That's about it. They don't have a lot of speed on the bench, so with that the case, they're just going to go ahead and play it out. Not take any chances on the base paths. Here's Campaneris. 2-11 for Campaneris. That's a single to left field. So Campaneris singles to left, puts runners at first and second. And now, with the runner in scoring position, they may go to a pinch runner to see if he can score on a single a little bit better. Let's see. Green runs at only a 10, and they've got some better runners out there. George Hendrick runs at a 15. And Guel runs at a 15. So they've got their choices there. So they're going to go with George Hendrick. So George Hendrick, who runs at a 15, he's going to pinch run for Dick Green. And then in the bottom of the inning, the A's will turn to Ted Kubiak. Ted Kubiak will be coming on to play second base. So George Hendrick's going to run for Dick Green. And Kubiak will take over at second base. All right, so Kubiak will be the new second baseman in the bottom of the 7th right now. It is Hendrick running. And Hendrick, like I said, they will, let's see, will they hold him on? I assume they probably will. Let's check his running ability. He's only a C-stealer, but he will be held as a C-stealer who runs at a 15, so he will have to be held. So that might open up a base hit possibility for Matty Alou. So the wheels are turning here in Dick Williams' dugout. Earl Weaver says, do whatever you want, I got Jim Palmer. So 2 outs and 2 on, Palmer to Alou. 1-5 for Alou, grounds back to Palmer, and all that was for naught. So all that strategizing came up empty. Go to the 7th inning stretch. It is Baltimore 4, Oakland 3. And again, second baseman now is going to be Ted Kubiak. And Kubiak, as a second baseman, is a rating of 3 E10. Whereas Dick Green was a 3 E29. So they actually got a little bit better defensively. All right, here's Don Buford. And lefty is loosening in the bullpen for the A's. Left-hander Darrell Knowles. Darrell Knowles is loosening in the bullpen because the Orioles do have some tough lefty hitters coming up in Boog Powell. So he may be there just for Boog Powell, if nothing else, because Powell homered off of Catfish last time. So see how it plays out. 6-5, Buford switch hitter batting left. 6-5, and that's a home run chance right there. That 6-5 on Catfish is his Achilles heel. 1-9 is a homer. He does have normal power against righties. So 1-9 is a Buford homer, and Buford homered his last time up as well. And he's going to homer again. That's another 9. There is no robbing home runs in just the advanced section. So home run, Don Buford, his second of the game. And Catfish, not liking this at all. It's 5-3. Here's Paul Blair. 1-7 for Blair. 1-5 is a double. 6-20 is a fly to center. And that's a fly to center. Reggie has it. 1 away. Brings up Frank Robinson. And Darrell Knowles will be coming in to face Boog Powell. 2-10 for Robinson. May not be fast enough. Look at this. Robinson's got a chance at a home run. 1-19 is going to do it. Pretty much guaranteed, and it is. It's gone. Frank Robinson, who got hit by a pitch last time, now homers off Catfish. And that's 6 runs given up by Catfish. He is out of there. So Catfish Hunter is gone. He started out like a wall of fire in the first 3 innings, but then he just got lambasted the rest of the way. Maybe all those hit by pitches came back to roost. And now here's Darrell Knowles. In 1972 is 5-1 with a 1.37 ERA and 11 saves as a left-handed reliever. So Darrell Knowles will be coming on. Catfish ends up going 6 1/3 innings, facing 30 batters. And he's going to give up 6 runs all earned. And look at the home runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home runs. So how about that? 5 home runs. Of course, 4 of them were solo shots. The other one was a 2-run homer by Powell. So all Oriole runs came off home runs. And Catfish hit 3 batters. Wow. Let's see, hits. How many hits did he allow? 1. Well, the first hit he allowed was a home run right here in the 4th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only got him for 5. The only hits he allowed were 5 home runs. This is amazing. He gave up no singles, no doubles, no triples. 5 hits, 5 home runs. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Walks 1 and hit 3, so his control was not there. Strikeouts 1, 2, 3, just 3. So there's your line. And now with 1 out and the base is empty, Boog Powell against Darrell Knowles. 6-9, Knowles against the lefty is a ground ball to short. That's Campaneris. He's a 2. And that is an 8. And that's going to go to an error check, I do believe. Yes, it will. 2 and 8. And he's already fell prey to that before on the error. Could happen again. Campaneris an E19. E19 and a 12. E19 and 12 actually is a good play. Ground ball A. So by rolling that 12, that helped him. Boog Powell is gone. 2 down for Brooks Robinson. 2-8 for Robinson against the lefty. 2-8. 1-4 is a home run. Could it be another home run again? 5-20 would be the first base hit that's not a home run. And that's what we got. We got a double. That's the first base hit for the Orioles that was not a home run. As Brooks Robinson gets the base hit. Now Knowles may have to come out of there. And they're going to bring in Raleigh Fingers to see if they can't stem the tide. So Raleigh Fingers, it's do or die right now for the A's. They may already be too far gone, but there's no sense keeping Fingers on the bench. He doesn't do anything in the bullpen for him. Might as well use him now. So Knowles goes a third of an inning, facing 2 batters and gives up a hit. Don't know about the runs yet. So now we have Fingers with 2 outs and a runner at second facing Merv Redmond. Now with the righty out there, let's see, well, Redmond played against the righty anyway, so we'll let him hit 4-7. 4-7 for Fingers is a strikeout to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in for the Orioles, and they now take a 6-3 lead over the A's. And Jim Palmer smiling all the way. He may tell Earl, I got this whole game, don't worry about your bullpen. Well, we'll see. Here's Joe Rudy. This is the point of weakness beginning for Palmer, so we'll see how he does. Rudy, 4-4 against Palmer. Catcher X. That's Echebarren. I'm sorry, that's Hendricks. Let me re-roll this so you can see it. Hendricks, a 14, and Hendricks, catching-wise, is a 4. So 4 and a 14 as a catcher. Pass ball and a pop-out, but nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a pop-out. So Joe Rudy pops to Hendricks for out number 1. Brings up Reggie. This is the last heart of the order here for the A's in the 8th, so they better do it now because the 9th's going to be kind of weak. 6-7 against Palmer. Ground ball second base X. That's Davey Johnson. He's a 2 with an E10. 2 and an 18 is a good play, so Reggie goes down. And what looked promising for an Oakland versus Oakland matchup is now looking to be the Orioles and Oakland. 5-8. 5-8 on Palmer. Ground ball to short. Belanger's got it. And the Orioles are 3 outs away from advancing to the Sweet 16. And we can finish Knowles. He gave up no runs there. All right, so we go to the bottom of the 8th. See if the Orioles can add on to their lead. Davey Johnson will lead it off against Raleigh Fingers. And Palmer had nothing against this point of weakness, so he's still good to go for the 9th. Although they will have double barrel action in the bullpen because Earl doesn't like to be surprised. It'll be Eddie Watt and Pete Rickard, the righty and a lefty for the Orioles. Right now, Raleigh Fingers facing Davey Johnson. 5-8, that's another strikeout. So Fingers has come in and struck out both batters he's faced. And that brings up Elrod Hendricks. 2-6, and that's a pop out to first. Column 2 is loaded, but he found the pop out to first. So he's going to pop out to Hegan for out number 2. And here's Belanger. 2-7 for Belanger. He flies to Reggie in center, and that's going to end the inning. So Fingers goes an inning and a third, striking out 2 and giving up nothing, facing the 4 batters. And so I'm filling this in ahead of time, assuming that the game's going to be over. Of course, you get in trouble when you assume. But I'll take that chance, the way Palmer's pitching and the way the Oriole bullpen is. So we'll see. Last chance for the A's. Top of the 9th we go. Mike Epstein, the batter. Be Epstein, Tennis, and Hegan. And then Kubiak, but most likely a pinch hitter for Kubiak because he's not a very good hitter. That's if it gets that far. Right now, it's Epstein. 111 for Epstein, and that is a fly to center. Paul Blair's been busy out there, 1 away. Here's Gene Tennis. 6-4. 6-4 is a ground ball to short. That's Belanger. And Belanger checks in as a 2, E24. 2 and a 13 at short is a good play. Ground ball B. That's all he needed. 2 down. Last chance. Mike Hegan. Mike Hegan is the last chance for the A's. 4-5 against Palmer. Fly to left. Squeezed by Redmond. And that's the ball game. The Baltimore Orioles of 1970 come back from a 3-0 deficit to beat the 72 A's 6-3. 6-3, your final two errors by the A's, but that really didn't hurt them because no runs scored during that time. It was the 5 home runs that hurt them. For Palmer, complete game, 9 innings pitched, facing 35 batters and giving up 3 runs, all earned. No homers. Didn't hit anybody compared to the 3 that Catfish hit. All right, Catfish took the loss. So let's see, walks and strikeouts. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got him for 6 strikeouts. And looks like just 1 walk. That was Bando. Bando's the only walk. Hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got him for 7 hits. This is all unofficial. I'm kind of doing this in a hurry. And I've got the Orioles for 6 hits. All right, so unofficially, this is what I've got. For the Orioles, 6 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. For the A's, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Winning pitcher, Jim Palmer. Losing pitcher, Jim Hunter. And we can now fill in the final page in the bracket of round 1 with Baltimore. And we'll go over our Sweet 16 matchup. We will now get rid of this thing. And we will switch over to the super advanced defensive. So maybe that'll streamline things a little bit, hopefully, or at least make it where it's not so many errors. We shall see. But there's your matchups going into Sweet 16. We'll look at them very quickly. And I'm not going to necessarily play these in any certain order. I'm just going to, whatever one looks. Well, I might. You know what? I might just start up here and work my way down. We'll see. 2001 Mariners play the Moneyball A's. 2002. So that's a matchup of 2 teams in 1 year apart. Seattle and Oakland. We got the 78 Yankees and the 04 Cardinals in another Sweet 16 game. We have an interesting throwback matchup, the 75 Big Machine Reds against the world champion 55 Brooklyn Dodgers. That's an interesting matchup there. 2 really good teams there. And then we have the 1988 A's taking on these Baltimore Orioles, just 1. Then we flip over to this side of the bracket, and we've got the 61 Yankees taking on the 16 Cubs. Kind of a reversal there, 6-1, 1-6, kind of a reversal. But it's a 15 seed against a 2 seed. We've got the 93 Braves taking on the Pittsburgh Pirate We Are Family team that upset the 41 Yankees. So we've got Atlanta against Pittsburgh. It's not 1991 or 92 like they did in the NLCSs, but this is 79 against the 93. In this bracket, a really good matchup here, the 86 Mets against the 79 Orioles. Definitely an interesting matchup there. And then lastly, the 2003 Yankees against the 1971 Pirates, who upset the 18 Red Sox. So, and actually the 03 Mets upset the 84 Tigers. So I was thinking we get an 84 Tigers against 18 Red Sox matchup. We got just the opposite right there. So looking at this, we got 3 Yankee teams in there. We got 2 Baltimore teams in there. Let's see, is there anybody else that repeats? And 2 Pittsburgh teams in there as well. So everybody else has just got 1 for their city. So that's the Sweet 16 that's left. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to start up here and work my way down, or I'm going to start up here and work my way down. Haven't decided yet how I want to play this, but whatever mood I guess I fit in when the Sweet 16 starts, which hopefully will be in a couple days. Because like I said, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games there to play, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 12. So you're looking at basically 13 games remaining to be played. So I've got almost a full month to play 13 games, so that shouldn't be a problem. Of course, like I said, I'm playing other things as well, maybe not on the channel. Maybe I will sprinkle in some other things on the channel as well, just to mix things up. But in this one right here, the May Madness, the Sweet 16 is now fully set up. And you can pick your favorites, who you think is going to win, or you want to win, whatever, and see how it all plays out. So, hope you are safe wherever you are and enjoying your time in your hobby. Hopefully you're staying safe from COVID and you're doing all the stuff that they tell you to do as far as staying safe and you know, only going out when you really have to. And for those essential employees, of course, they need to go out, but everybody else can kind of maybe practice a little bit of social distancing, as they say. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.